It's another day, another chapter in Nigeria's uneasy dance between activism and authority. Friday, October 25, 2025, the nation once again watched the familiar scene unfold as activist and politician Omoyele Sowore got rearrested. This time, right outside the Kuje Magistrate Court, just moments after being granted bail. Now, here's how things played out on Friday. Sowore had been arrested the day before, that's Thursday, for leading a protest on Monday calling for the release of detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. He appeared in court with 13 other persons, including Kanu's brother, and was granted bail 500, that's in the sum of 500,000 naira with shorties, standard conditions. Immediately after the court session, police officers rearrested Sowore on the court premises, claiming a secret remand order had been obtained. Witnesses reported a chaotic scene, alleging police officers used force and obstructed Sowore's legal team, while police claimed he was lawfully taken to prison to perfect his bail conditions. Well, the police indicated that Sowore would be rearraigned on fresh unspecified charges on Monday, October 27. But this isn't Sowore's first run-in with the authorities. Many will remember his 2019 arrest by the State Security Service, also calling for the hashtag Revolution Now protest, a case that stirred outrage, sparked solidarity from human rights groups, and drew criticism from the international community over Nigeria's handling of dissent. This last and recent episode has now reopened the debate. Is this about maintaining law and order or silencing dissent? Or are we witnessing the lawful enforcement of justice? Or yet another disregard for the rule of law? And how much power should the police wield in the face of a court's decision? In fact, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar called the rearrest a shameful abuse of power, while civil society groups say this is a dangerous message to Nigerians who dare to question authorities. Some have said that Sowore has a history of provocative activism, sometimes blurring the line between civic agitation and public disorder. Now, should the state not act if protests threaten peace, or does this justify what many now see as a political overreach? This is Homo Politicus. A warm welcome to you. Kingsley Bass is my name. Let's discuss the facts, the law, and the politics behind yet another face-off between citizen activism and state power. I'm joined at this time by political commentator Nnamdi Kanu. He joins me virtually. Many thanks for joining me today, Nnamdi Kanu.
Thank you so much, my brother. Great to be here.
Fantastic. Good to have you. Appears you're in good spirits today. That's good. Well, let's get down to the conversation, shall we? Now, when the court says you are free and the police say, well, not yet, who really speaks for justice in Nigeria? From your point of view, Nnamdi Kanu, is this about maintaining law and order, or is this about silencing dissent, what you've seen? Are we witnessing the lawful enforcement of justice, or is this yet, from your standpoint, another disregard for the rule of law?
This is nothing but a miscarriage of justice and a thwarting of the judicial protocol and processes as known to a lot of people who have followed through what civilized society would call justice. And let me quickly explain. So is it all right now that the courts will permit this kind of perfidy in that they are just arraigned a person and the charges that they thought were necessary to commit this person to jail term were separated? This is me imagining why the police would have done what they have done. Were separated such that they brought only one or two, and once granted bail, they got the person again, they brought the other one or two. Once granted bail, they got the person again, they brought the other one or two. Once granted bail, and the judiciary keeps permitting this perfidy. I am looking forward to a time when the judiciary will say, enough of this nonsense. You heard him. What is the maxim of our law? It is that you are expected to, go and investigate a person, haven't got all the facts. You arrest the person and you bring the person to court because you would have prepared your case with all of the facts that you need to do, very strong litigation, for instance. Now you bring the person to court and it seemed as though you have not even done your work. And the court grants the person bail and say, okay, let this person, on the basis of what you have presented, this person can go on bail. Then you capture the person again and say you want to take him to court a different day. If the judiciary would not speak, Nigerians are really watching them. As a matter of fact, some of us have got so irritated today that every time we have the opportunity to speak, we say it's not the fault of these politicians, it's not even the fault of the police officers. It's the fault of the people who are expected to be above board, who are expected to let Nigerians know that justice is not on sale, justice is not for sale. Justice will be delivered, and Madam Justice will be blind while delivering the justice on a scale that everybody is expected to be put. Today, what we see is that it's like a caricature. I don't know how Nigerians have not seen this trick that they are playing. It's a caricature. They go to court. They know that it's going to get a bail, but in their mind, we are going to deal with this person. As soon as it's given a bail, let's represent something else. And when I hear the narratives, I say it and I emphasize it that it's not the fault of the police officers. It's not the fault of these politicians. It's the fault of a judiciary that has refused to do what they should do. If the judiciary once and for all, once this case is brought to them, would say to the prosecuting people that we are fining you 300 million, 500 million for this nonsense, for wasting the time of court. We are fining you R1 billion, and if you do not pay within this time, we are going to commit you to jail. If the judiciary would only be able to speak like this, all of these nonsenses would stop.
Let's go to the very start. This entire episode started October 20, 2025. It was a Monday morning when, prior to that, Omoyele Sowore had called for support in protesting for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, who's still standing trial. And, before Monday, October 20, the police had, gotten a court order restricting where protesters, that's Sowore and his group, could protest, right? The police, when that protest happened, the police, after arresting Sowore on Thursday, did now say, at least going by the comment of the verbal comment of the Force Public Relations Officer Benjamin Hundeyin, he did say that he was arrested because they had gone against the court order restricting protests in certain locations, like the National Assembly complex, like the police premises, the also Villa, and that several persons who were arrested before Sowore had mentioned Showore's name as the leader of the protest, one who led them to do these things. Well, one is wondering in the first place. Many persons have spoken about this in the first place. Let me get your thought on that first arrest in the first place. Should that have happened? And do you think that there's been some politicizing of the process?
In that statement, if you really analyze the statement very well, you would see that he even shot himself in the foot.
How so?
Was Omoyele Sowore arrested anywhere near those places where they said the court restricted him from protesting? Nigerians should ask the question. Where was Omoyele Sowore arrested? Was it anywhere near where that restriction order was permitted him or refused him to protest in? Was it anywhere near there? Omoyele Sowore was not arrested anywhere near there. In any case, how is it that a police force understand the philosophy of approbating and reprobating much more than even the author of the concept? Because in one breath, they can decide not to respect the rulings of court, the judgments of court. And we have seen one too many cases in this country where judgments are given, where rulings are given, and the politicians, together with the police, decide to do otherwise. Decide to do otherwise. Nnamdi Kanu, the person who is the one we are all discussing about today, has been granted bail. Did they respect those orders? Did they
So that's
respect
that that
those
that that,
judgments?
no, now the kind of situation has been disputed with the final judgment from the Supreme Court regarding that bail condition. But let's move away from that. Suppose you were referencing the Court of Appeal decision, yeah, but of course, the Supreme Court's decision regarding that. But he's facing trial. He's now decided, as a matter of fact, for those who didn't follow, have not been following the story, he's decided that Nnamdi Kanu to defend himself in Supreme Court. Yes.
Even if the lower court gives you bail, what should happen is that you applied to a higher court to go and stay or to go and work on that judgment. Otherwise, that judgment is what is known, what should exist until the higher court says something to the contrary. As it stands, go see how they have made nonsense of the case. You are still keeping him. And there are several other instances, time will fail me to mention, of how they have not respected. In any case, to protest is the fundamental rights of Nigerians. How is it that somebody can go and get judgment and say that you who is interviewing me right now does not have the right to life? Judgment comes from the court and says you should not live. This is exactly how I've been explaining to people, since the beginning of this fiasco. The fundamental rights that we have got as citizens of this country. We have a right to do these things. The courts cannot take that right away from us. That's the point we have been making. The courts cannot take our fundamental rights away from us.
Not even in the face, as the police would justify, and some persons would justify, not even in the face of possible threats to life and disruption of properties. They say that's one of the reasons why the court should restrict movement.
What would the police not justify? What can the police not justify? Police in Nigeria, they can justify, literally everything. They can justify how they are giving amnesty. How it is that they are even joining politicians to go and celebrate with a known kingpin that you have already declared wanted. You are the ADC and security that will follow a politician to go and celebrate that person's daughter's wedding, and the person is carrying gun, and your police officers are there, and you say you have declared him wanted. They can justify how they are giving pardon and amnesties to people who have killed, but they cannot justify how peaceful protesters carrying flags would have a right to protest. Are you not seeing that we are living in strange times? We are living in strange times. And what makes me laugh, at the face of these people is that they are Nigerians, so they occupy a position at best for a period of time. When that position elapses, when they get out of that office, they become regular Nigerians, and they will be faced with the same things that a lot of us are protesting against. They will be faced with these same conditions, these same systems that they supported to oppress the people, to oppress the poor, to oppress the have-nots, to oppress the ones who are not heavily connected. This same system, including these politicians who don't understand the song of Asha, this same system, they will come into it. And the new people who are there, if they do not do anything about it, will still do this oppression on them. Is it not here and now? Is it not in our time? We are seeing a former police officer who yesterday joined them to molest us, he's crying on social media about pension and everything. I laugh sometimes, and I see how the cosmos is bringing bring judgment to them. A lot of them will face their judgment here on earth when they turn their faces against what is evil. They turn their faces against what is and permit what is evil, what is not expected, even from the devil.
All right.
You are permitting evil. You are protecting the people who are doing evil. You are going with the politicians to go and dance with the people carrying guns and killing us. But an Omoyele Sowore is the one who has broken the law for protesting, peacefully protesting. Meanwhile, the president that is assumed to have given this order protested though. As a matter of fact, he came into fame from protest. Nadeco is a protest machinery. Nadeco is a protest system, is a protest protocol. And he was behind Nadeco. And he has led several other protests too. Nobody, even the military, did not kill him. But today, look at the famous one, the Ojota protest. Nothing happened to him, but today it is now a crime to protest. Why should we not be able to protest in front of Aso Rock? When people go to 10 Downing Street almost every now and again, different kinds of protests. Conservatives are going, the queer people are going, the gay people are going, different 10 Downing Street, they are protesting there. What is the thing that I don't understand Africans? What is the thing that is so devious, that is so anachronistic, that is so evil, that should make them be afraid of protest? If you really know you are doing the right things, let the people protest and speak to it. Let others be able to judge between the message the protesters are carrying and the message your system is giving. If indeed you are clean, today you know they are not clean. They know that they are engendering evil in our system by pardoning evil people, by pardoning thieves, by pardoning criminals, by pardoning smugglers, by pardoning evil in our country. Yet, the one who has even spent time in jail, that a lot of lawyers have said is even much more than the time he would have spent if he had been found guilty. You are refusing to let a political solution allow him to come out. We are insisting that Nnamdi Kanu must be freed. He should be free, because what is source for the good is indeed source for the gander.
Well, just before we close, you've spoken so much about this, but I'd like to get your thoughts. If you think that this has been some way politicized, if this was, there's no doubt taking deducing from your comments so far that you think that this was deliberately done by the police. But do you think this is, much more deliberately done just to make him be there for another 2-3 days through Saturday, Sunday, knowing that nothing could happen within that time?
They don't know Omoyele Sowore. They don't know him. As a matter of fact, what is happening is that they are playing the script as was written by him and the institutions and the serious-minded people around him. They are playing by the books. A thinking system would understand that you are not to arrest an Omoyele Sowore. A thinking system would understand that. But unfortunately, we are not living in a system that thinks through protocols. That's why it's knee-jerk reaction. Omoyele Sowore, let's go. You think you can break an Omoyele Sowore by putting him in prison, a person who has already who left his family, came to Nigeria. A Buhari held him, the worst government in the history of our country. The worst government under President Muhammadu Buhari held him down in Abuja. By my reckoning, no government, even this one, as terrible as it is great. It's great government compared to the Buhari government. As wicked as that government was, they held Omoyele Sowore down here in Nigeria. Held him, refused him to leave Abuja when they even gave him and he did not break him. He keeps coming back stronger. He keeps coming back. That's a man on a mission. See, fear a man on a mission. That's a man on a mission. And you see, what aches my heart the most is that Nigerians celebrate the valiance. They criticize and they kill their heroes. See what's happening with very dark man now. A lot of people, his character, his attitude. And I'm saying, all of you, something must be wrong with you people. A man who single-handedly has interrupted the system for good, who has helped people that the Nigerian system would not have recognized. who because of him justice came to people. Now it is his approach that you are discussing. We want to quickly kill and vilify the ones that are standing for us. If Nigerians indeed were people who are thinking, this is the time, let me tell you, this is the time for us to have said to these leaders that enough is enough.
All right, we'll leave things there, but just before we let my guest, political commentator Nnamdi Kanu go, some have said that this might just deter Nigerians, from questioning constituted authority, that this is part of the move. Do you agree? Do you think that some persons might be discouraged going forward from protesting when there are calls for same?
It is gathering momentum. That's all I'm just going to say.
What's gathering
it is
momentum?
Gathering momentum? It is gathering momentum. They should just be on the lookout. It is gathering momentum. It is not every day you are going to be able to oppress the people. And it's not every of the people you'll be able to oppress every day. They should go and listen to these words that I've said. It is not every day you oppress the people, and it's not every of the people you'll be able to oppress every day. A few people are coming out. It is gathering momentum. And when the time is right, when the celestial claps with the terrestrial, evil would scamper. That is the day that the river would overflow, and there will be nowhere for us.
Political commentator Nnamdi Kanu, I'd like to thank you so much for joining the conversation to talk about this. The rest of Omoyele Sowore, activist and politician. Thank you so much for your comment and your time on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate that. All right, we continue to see how things unfold regarding this, and in coming days, it will be clear what would happen. As mentioned, the police have said, by Monday, October 27, it will be clear. So we'll keep following this development and bring them your way. It's been Homo Politicus. We hope indeed that justice, prevails, not just in this matter, but every matter regarding the country. And as we close the show today, say, may God continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Kingsley, that is my name. Bye for now.